Welcome to the Multifamily Marketers Podcast. I'm Josh Grillo, your host, co-founder here at Resident 360. I'm also joined by my Director of Digital Marketing, my co-host, Ms. Caroline Mills. Good afternoon, Caroline. We have an exciting topic we are talking about today, ChatGPT ads. You know they're coming.
We do. This is something that was just announced. I mean, we were just talking about it this week in another meeting. So this is definitely one of those topics that people are either very excited about or immediately skeptical, getting scared or getting nervous. And honestly, both reactions can make sense. So we're here to kind of dive into both sides of that today.
Yeah, so when we saw it come out, we said, okay, this would be a perfect podcast episode to do it on. Now, there's not a whole lot of information out there. There's a little bit. There's some ideas, kind of like some cost perspectives and stuff like that. So we decided to record this episode and really kind of give you some thoughts and ideas of what the multifamily industry should know, what you should be thinking about for your properties. So one of the very first things, Caroline, and before we even jumped on this call, we talked about it as well. Both of us, it's kind of funny, both of us did the exact same thing. We went to ChatGPT and asked it about its own ads. Yeah. So I'm going to start. Let me just start the show by reading what it told me, okay? Because I was like, well, maybe I can, get to the bottom line of these ads by asking Chat itself. So this is what it told me. What ChatGPT ads actually are. Are you ready? Mm-hmm. ChatGPT ads are a new advertising placement inside the ChatGPT interface. They're separate from AI answers, clearly labeled as sponsored content, and show up after a response to a user prompt about something relevant. So that's the general consensus of what it is. So we're going to dive over the next 10, 15 minutes or so. We're going to dive a little bit deeper into this and talk a little bit more about it. So what's your thoughts, Caroline? What does it actually mean for apartments?
I think this is going to be really interesting in the space. I think it is just something that we're seeing shifting. We're on client calls all the time talking about AI overviews, GEO. It's just another further aspect that we're getting into with this. So, because renters are already using it, whether we're marketing on it yet or not, isn't going to change. So I think it's just how it's moving and we're going to see how it goes. But people are asking ChatGPT things like, what is the best area to live near my job? What amenities actually matter in an apartment, a pet-friendly, apartment complex with screened-in balconies near X, Y, and Z. So that's not just casual browsing. It really is decision-making that people are really diving into this and they're using it. So I think it's just a natural progression of what we're going to see. But like you said, it's new, it's out there. We're going to definitely have to be on the forefront of seeing how this evolves.
So this isn't like another social platform launching ads.
Right, exactly. So this is going to be closer to search behavior, but more conversational and exploratory. It's happening before someone goes to Google and types in apartments near me or apartments near this. So definitely something working in tandem, but very different than other social platforms.
All right, well, let's get a little bit practical here for a second. So what do we actually mean when we say ChatGPT ads? What does that really look like?
Yeah, so how they're describing it, like you said, we haven't seen one yet. I was asking Chat myself too, like exactly what it would look like. I figured ask the expert, what they think. And so kind of did the same thing. It says that the user will have to put in a prompt first. They're going to say something like pet-friendly apartments with screened-in balconies in this area. Results are going to come up, and then there will be sponsored results because of that person's prompt that come up as well. They say they will be clearly labeled. You will definitely know, and it does not influence the organic, I say organic, it's AI, but it will not influence the other search results coming up. So it will appear after you ask a question. It's triggered contextually based on what the user is asking, and they will not influence the actual answer that Chat is going to give you.
Okay, so very cool. That's a really important distinction. So it's very intent-driven placement.
Right, exactly. So what we understand is this isn't AI recommending just whoever paid the most. That's kind of different, I think, than what we're used to in the Google ad space. It's just whoever pays the most is going to be the one that's out all the time. This is truly going to depend on what the person is searching in these prompts that come up.
So kind of think Google search, but inside a conversation.
Exactly. So less keyword guessing, but definitely more real intent behind it.
All right, well, let's try to bring it home for apartments. Why is this especially interesting right now for multifamily?
Yeah, I would say because apartment decisions are research heavy. I'm actually going through the process. I was talking with you through that as well. But you definitely don't just click a random apartment and go and lease. There is a lot of research that goes into these things. So people are comparing neighborhoods, price points, amenities, timing, new versus established communities. And so ChatGPT and AI platforms are really sitting right in the middle of that research place right now.
So where do you see the strongest case studies of this?
I would say lease ups, 100%. That's going to be one of our main ones. Definitely some competitive sub-markets, some oversaturated markets, and communities that feel like they're drowning in the Google competition. That is definitely something, we recommend as an agency, and we also do. And we definitely think this isn't something meant to replace Google ads or Meta ads. This is just an additive that's going to add into this and just overall enhance your online presence.
So I guess it's almost like you're catching that renter before everyone else is actually out there bidding on them with Google search and stuff.
Right, exactly. So this is definitely earlier in the funnel, but it's still going to have a lot of high intent.
All right, well, let's talk about what it's not. We kind of have an idea what it is, and it sounds super exciting. I mean, I'm really excited about it. I can't wait to test it here at Resident 360 for some of our clients and so forth. But what is it not? Like, really, who is it not for?
Yeah, so this is not going to be your silver bullet. You definitely, like we tell people all the time, you don't want to put all your eggs in one basket. This is not going to replace your entire paid media strategy. Like, I would never, tell someone, like, abandon all of their search terms and abandon all of their ILSs and go straight into ChatGPT ads. And it's not fully built out yet. I think this is something that we're definitely going to have to get in front of and get used to. Reporting, we hear, will definitely be lighter at first. Think just like your impressions, your clicks, your traffic quality. We're not going to have perfect attribution. It's not going to be fully baked out. I mean, think of what Google, ads were 10 years ago versus what they are today.
All right. Well, what about have you had any sense of what it might even cost? Like, I know there's been a couple ramblings out there, but have you come across anything that's kind of suggested price points?
I was kind of talking to Chat again itself and just kind of asking so what are you recommending in this industry? And it kind of gives the same thing. If you're used to running Google ads, you're going to hear the same thing. It varies in various markets based on your cost per click or based on your cost per metric that you're going to see. So we don't have a guaranteed number yet. I've kind of seen that they're recommending that people start in the $500 budget range. If you're familiar running Google ads, that is low end. That is very minimum. Low end of running Google ads out there. That is just keeping it live. So they're recommending that in other markets that are more competitive or the lease up industry, you might be looking more at $1,000, $1,500. But again, they're estimating this just based on what they expect of how many people to come in and search content they're seeing. So we could definitely see this shifting in time. And it's definitely something we're going to stay on top of, here at Resident 360 during our learning time.
Has there been any release dates that you've come across? I know they've been talking about it all week. Here we are, Friday, January 30th. This podcast episode will release next week. I guess that's February something, very first week in February on Wednesday. This will release. But have you come across anything about when an actual release date would be?
So I came across two different things that were kind of conflicting and I just couldn't tell because it was separate news articles. I saw one that said Chat themselves is going to try piloting some before you even get the chance to try and sign up for it. And then I heard another one that said starting next week when they do release it, you could get on the list to, be in line and be an agency who wants to try this out. So it doesn't say you're just going to create an account, get in and start going, but it says you can, request to be on a list of signing up and getting in when you can. So hopefully here in the next week as they truly announce it, or maybe we start seeing some stuff. I'm interested what topics, if they try to pilot it first, they're going to go for if I can trigger it or what we're going to see out there, if we can try and test what those look like. So I think we'll definitely in the next 2 weeks, I think we'll have more content, but hopefully next week when it's launching, we do.
So with the ads themselves, are they, I read somewhere they're only going to be shown to free
Correct.
users, right? So people that actually have, like I have a paid chat account. So anybody with paid accounts, they will not be shown ads.
It is. That's their model right now. I'll be interested to see how that goes too. It's kind of like the streaming services. You start off and they say, oh, the paid people aren't going to get it. And then I feel like the further those services go on, we all get ads now too. But yeah, for the time being, they're saying it's strictly only going to be the free users.
Interesting. Okay. Well, I think it'll be really cool to see the actual rollout of it, the platform they give you to log into, Google Ads and the whole platform for running ads, what this will look like. If they took any cues from the Google Ads platform or not, who knows? But I think it's going to be pretty interesting. So why, as an agency, should we be paying attention right now? Like, why are we paying attention?
Right. Because I think this is really the best time to learn the platform before it gets too crowded. So it's not that we're trying to chase the trend of it or chasing trends. We're just trying to validate them. We're trying to see what's going on. We're going to test small. We're going to watch some of the behavior, and we're going to really learn what resonates with renters. That way, when or if this scales, we already know how to use it, and we can make those recommendations to our clients. We want to be able to speak logically to these and really know what's happening and get familiar with it. It's one of those things. Even Google Ads and the Google interface is changing all the time. So the sooner we can get more familiar with it, the better.
So I guess the reality is it's probably not just a shiny new thing, but it is a shiny new thing, meaning like it is shiny. And I think a lot of people are going to jump over to it. But I think it's one of those things that's going to be around, and it's going to be around to stay, and it's going to be evolved. So maybe early adopters are going to benefit from really learning the platform, learning how it works, and figuring out how to get the best of the ads.
Exactly. As an agency here, it's more about us just being informed, not being impulsive. We're not just throwing this money at it, like you said, to just be something new and shiny, but we want to be informed on what's happening and how this is ever evolving.
So if owners, marketing directors, multifamily companies are listening to this, what should they do now?
Yeah.
Like, what should they do next?
Yeah, absolutely. So definitely, paying attention to how renters are actually searching today. Ask your agency how they're testing emerging channels. If it's not with us, we'd love to answer any questions on what that may be. But ask them what they're doing to test these channels, not just optimizing the same ones that you have. And then if you do test something like this, definitely start small. Set the expectation that the goal is learning, not instant perfection. Same with us, come over and ask us. We're happy to help answer these as we go through this testing process ourselves.
Should multifamily companies start saying, okay, we need to take a small percentage of our paid media budget and now allocate it for this new emerging channel?
That's a good question. I think I would say if you're one of those key target audiences we talked about and you have the budget to do it, that's not going to sacrifice leasing for your team. Absolutely. Like, let's test it out. Same thing. I mean, even in a lease up, we're testing out how different paid ads work for them, how PMAX is going. I would say look at it that way and not, oh, I'm struggling and I'm trending at 79. Let me pull away from, my ILS source or my Google Ads to go try this out. That would not be the time I would do that at this time anyways.
Makes total sense. All right. I think we broke down what we have or what we know so far about ChatGPT ads. I can't wait for it to roll out. If you're listening to the show and you'd like to learn more about piloting ChatGPT ads, I can't even say it, ChatGPT ads. There we go. Got it out. Yeah, if you'd like to learn more about ChatGPT ads and piloting it for some of your properties, feel free to reach out to us here at Resident 360. We will be actually doing it for ourselves and for some of our clients here in the coming weeks, and really learn all about it, what it's about, and how we can create some great results with it. And Caroline, once again, I appreciate you for jumping in and sharing some of your insight. I'm sure there'll be tons more on this topic in the weeks to come. Appreciate everybody listening to the show today. And we will be back next week with another episode of the Multifamily Marketers Podcast. Take care, guys, and we will see you later. Bye,
Thank
Caroline.
you, guys. Bye.